Hey guys, Boy601, and today a little bit of a unique build we are going to be showing off. Now, the inspiration for this came about a week and a half ago. I put out a Azure Lane Commander tier list along with premiums, and then about a day later, a fellow community contributor, Durka Games, put out pretty much the exact same video, of course, with different opinions. And one of the ones that we changed that we were very different on was Azure Lane Belfast. And Durka said he loved Belfast a lot because of the smoke fire penalty build that you could go with it, i.e., when you're in smoke, your smoke detection range can be reduced by an insane amount. For example, with my currently ranked out Belfast, you're looking at about a 23% reduction. But the big thing with using that skill is you lose a smoke generator charge, which I'm not a big fan of. And of course, if things are a little hot and spicy when that smoke runs out because, you know, the enemy ships are nearby, you're most likely sitting broadside or nearly broadside in a ship that is made of paper mache, because that's kind of the British light cruiser life. So I decided I'd do a little bit of a twist and try out my own insane smoke fire penalty build. So I give you the Fiji, captained by good old Tyrwit, for all of the smokes. If you're unaware, Tyrwit, while not being a cruiser commander, does have the legendary skill Smogathon. And what Smogathon does, when fully maxed out, 50% longer smoke screen for 50% shorter duration time, and you get 2 extra charges. And what that means on Fiji, at least, is you're only looking about a couple of seconds between each deployment, meaning you can nearly remain smoked up at all times. Now, different from my usual build, though, is going to be the inspirations. We're going to be running Farncombe and HMS Belfast. And the reason we're doing that is both of these commanders have a skill that reduces your visibility when firing in smoke. Right now, for my Farncombe, we're at 12%. For Belfast, I'm at 15%. So that's 27%. They are not maxed out. We could go more. And as a result, the magic number that ships will have to be in order to spot us visually while we are firing our guns at them is 3.9 kilometers, which is going to be fun. So with all that said, let's dive on in. And of course, we're out here on A, and we are kind of starting off the spiciness. Now, just to keep in mind of how effective this build is, the usual base smoke firing penalty for a Fiji is 5.4 kilometers, which that Massachusetts is nearly at. And you're going to see just what we were able to do while we maintain this minimum firing distance. We end up picking up 2 torpedo hits on what is either the Plymouth, or most likely the Plymouth who put out that smoke screen, but we would be spotted right now if we didn't have this build. But instead, we get to continue to farm this Massachusetts, who is pushing into us, most likely thinking, oh, it can't be, you know, I'll spot him. He's firing at me, which, of course, with this fun little build, we won't. Now, we are over on A, side we spawned on. We're kind of using this island to help protect us a little bit. Torpedoes coming back online, and hopefully we are able to hit Massachusetts. And it's at this point where I'm not 100% sure on my firing penalty, so it's like I could have gotten one more salvo in there, but hey, this is where we are right now. 1 torpedo hit, we get spotted. Let's go ahead and use our guns now to try to finish Massachusetts off as he's swinging them towards us. And we're going to take a salvo from a cruiser over here, but in relatively short amount of time, we were able to take down Massachusetts. And now it's Vittorio Veneto's fault, or time to shine. He's pushing very close to us. I guess one of the nice things about this build is going to be the torpedoes. Just because basically by the time they realize and the time they spot us, we are able to put down torpedoes where they have, 18 seconds in order to change course, which really isn't a lot, especially when you're in a big battleship. The other really important skill that is definitely helping us right now is stand or fall. It is one of those sort of destroyer skills that pops up from time to time. What it does is for each percentage of hit or each percentage of HP we lose, we get 0.2% better reload on our main guns, our secondary guns, and our torpedoes. So for example, right now, I would say we are at about 50% health, which means we're getting a 10% reload boost thanks to everything. Of course, we pop out of the smoke here, drop off the torpedoes. We take a nice broadside from Veneto there, but thankfully we are able to get out of the way as that Plymouth, I think, who is also using a tier wit build, because he stays in his smoke for a very long time, tries to take some pot shots at us as we don't have much. Now, I do have to say, there is a strategic reason we went with the Fiji, the tech tree cruiser, for this choice, for this kind of build. Mainly, this is where I feel like the sweet spot for this build is. At tier 6, you have a chance of getting into tier 5 matches, which in tier 5 matches, the only real radars out there are going to be like Boudione and a couple of select tier 6 cruisers, where once you get up to tier 7s, the likelihood of facing an enemy radar, and therefore this whole build being nullified, kind of gets up there a little bit as Plymouth finally pops out of his smoke, and we can see the damage we definitely did to him earlier in the round with those 2 torpedoes. We are still contested out on this right side as the enemy team has kind of pretty much totally collapsed, but you know, we will take it. Charlemagne pops up here. We're gonna go ahead, pop our next smoke. I was kind of hoping the teammate next to us would be able to spot him, but we will take the ability to kind of farm him from the blind right here. Still a little shocking that we haven't been able to capture, or there hasn't even been a capture halfway into the game, and the enemy team has pretty much totally collapsed as we put out some torpedoes just in case he decides to push in, though. With him no longer contesting the cap, it looks like we will be pretty safe in our ability to take the cap. I guess the one other nice thing about this build, or at least when you use tier wit, is going to be the AA. British cruisers tend to have decent enough AA, but when you use tier wit, his first 2 skills in the upper row are both torpedo based, and while we've used torpedoes to great effect in this match, I don't think it's something you usually build into. So in that top row, you are able to take no fly zone, which boosts your range of your AA, which I think we've done pretty good to use to great effect here with 12 planes shot down so far. And as we kind of poke our head out of the smoke, because I know Charlemagne should be relatively low with everything that he, I should say, doesn't have going on. We got a decent hit from that blind fire recently. 5 more shells in there, and well, down goes Charlemagne, and they have lost the rest of their points. But guys, that is my fun little heavy smoke concealment build. What did you think? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.